What if the words "I love you" were the last thing anyone ever heard before the scream? A quiet suburban street, porch lights glowing like halos. 9:42 p.m. A Friday night that should have been ordinary. But from 214 Oak Ridge Lane, the sound wasn't love. It was panic. By morning, the words "she's gone" would echo through the neighborhood like a curse. Jessica Delaney's laughter used to fill that house, soft, warm, alive. Neighbors said she'd hum while watering her plants, wave from her porch, share leftover cookies with Mrs. Bennett next door. But that night, something in her tone changed. A tremor beneath the calm. "Ryan, please just listen." The window was cracked open. Mrs. Bennett paused mid-step on her walkway, listening. Then came a sound she'd never forget. A thud, a gasp, a silence too thick to be peace. Ryan Mercer told police later he'd gone for a drive. Said Jessica was fine when he left. But every neighbor heard something else. A scream muffled by drywall. A chair scraping the floor. A woman's voice begging, "Stop, just stop." When the first squad car arrived, the porch light was still on. The front door unlocked. Inside, the TV played a looping screensaver. Her phone on the counter. Dinner half-eaten. No sign of struggle. But no Jessica either. If Ryan left at 9:30 like he claimed, why was his car still seen at the corner at 9:46? Detective Jonah Reeves watched the footage twice. Same car, same plates, same driver, but this time someone else in the passenger seat. A silhouette, still, motionless. And from that moment, one question refused to fade. If love was what kept her there that night, what kind of love doesn't let you leave? Why did the noise stop the second she screamed his name? A neighbor, Mrs. Bennett, told police she heard Jessica cry out. Then silence, like the air itself froze. Her hands were shaking when she described the sound. Not anger, not pain, but finality. 9:43 p.m., Friday night. Detective Jonah Reeves replayed the 911 call over and over. In the background, there was something faint. A slow tapping, almost rhythmic. Not an accident. Not random. By morning, Ryan was gone. Jessica's phone lay face down. Screen cracked. One final message unsent. If anything happens, check the light. But which light? Her porch? Her car? The old lamp she'd refused to replace? Every clue pointed outward. Every instinct pulled inward. And somewhere between those two truths was the lie. What did Jessica mean by check the light? Jessica's apartment. 7:12 a.m. Detective Reeves stood in the quiet room, sunlight breaking through half-closed blinds. The lamp by the window flickered. Once, twice, and then stopped as if it had been waiting. Inside the lamp space, taped beneath the wiring, was a small folded note. The handwriting was rushed, uneven. "He's not who you think he is. If you're reading this, I didn't make it out." Reeves felt his throat tighten. Jessica had known. She tried to warn someone. But who? One day before her disappearance, he replayed her last voicemail. The static cracked, then her voice. "Ryan's been acting strange. If anything happens, follow the sound." The same sound the neighbors heard. The same sound no one could explain. And now it wasn't just noise, it was a message. Why did his story sound rehearsed? But his eyes said otherwise. Ryan sat across from Detective Reeves, hands clasped tight, the kind of calm that feels practiced. He said he found Jessica's note after she stormed out, claiming she'd been paranoid, distant. But his words didn't line up with the timeline. Reeves leaned in. "You said she left at 10. Neighbors heard a scream at 9:43. So, which is it?" Ryan blinked, swallowed hard. "You think I hurt her?" Reeves didn't answer. He only slid a photo across the table, a blurred still from a traffic camera. Jessica's car, headlights on, parked near their old vacation cabin hours after the supposed fight. Ryan's expression broke for half a second, then hardened. Detected, Lake Ravel cabin. Reeves knew it now. Whatever happened that night didn't end in their apartment. It started somewhere far quieter, and it was waiting to be found. Why did Jessica's car end up where their memories once lived? The place was exactly as she described in her journal. Cedar walls, wind humming through broken shutters, and that lake so still it reflected everything except the truth. Detective Reeves stepped inside. Dust hung in the air like smoke. On the table, 2 glasses, one half full, one still warm. In the corner, the old lamp from Jessica's apartment. Same flicker, same hum. Someone had moved it here. He traced the cord, heart pounding. It wasn't plugged in. The hum grew louder, then stopped, replaced by a single soft tap against the window. Reeves turned. Outside, footprints led toward the dock, one set ending mid-path. The lake rippled once, then went still again. And in that silence, Reeves realized, whatever Jessica was trying to expose hadn't drowned. It was still breathing. What if the one clue that proves you're wrong is something you never meant to see? Under the dock boards, mud pressed into worn boot prints. 2 tracks, one shallow, one heavy, ending where the water lapped at a single copper object. Detective Reeves lifts a tarnished brass key, looped with a scrap of fabric. Her gray hoodie caught on it, frayed as if ripped in a hush. He studies the key, a small, old-fashioned thing, not a house key, engraved faintly with the letter M. Someone dropped it here on purpose or in panic. The fabric's fibers match the hoodie Jessica was wearing earlier. Footprints suggest 2 people walked the dock that night. One set dragged like it was carrying weight. The other left quick, lighter steps, as if someone had run back to the car. Reeves follows the prints to the reed line. Disturbed, flattened as though something heavy moved through it. He finds a crushed matchbox half buried. A logo from a bar 2 streets over, Mason and Pike. Not Ryan's usual hangout. If Ryan says he drove alone, why is there evidence of another person who knows Jessica's hoodie? Why a key with M? Why a bar matchbox she never mentioned? Someone else was with her at the lake. Someone whose name starts with M. And as Reeves holds the key, the truth hits like cold water. The night she vanished wasn't only about love gone wrong. It was about a secret that wore 2 faces. Main suspect, Ryan Mercer. But one new lead, M. What if the killer wasn't hiding, just standing close enough to help you look? Rain hit the windows like whispers as Detective Reeves pushed open the door. Inside, one man turned away too quickly, Eli Torres, the bar owner. The engraved M on his lighter matched the key. Reeves watched as Eli's comm cracked. He wasn't just a bar owner. He'd grown up next door to Jessica, best friends, once. He confessed they met the night she disappeared. She'd said Ryan was dangerous, begged Eli to meet her at the cabin. But when Reeves pressed him on what happened next, his voice broke. She was scared. She said he found out. Ryan's phone records showed a final call to Eli, minutes before Jessica screamed. 2 men, 1 obsession, and between them Jessica's last breath for freedom. Ryan's fingerprints were on her car door. Eli's were on her hoodie. But only one truth fit both clues: they weren't enemies. They were partners. Jessica had discovered their secret. Money laundering under the bar's name. Her accounts tied in without her knowing. When she confronted Ryan, Eli came to help. Neither planned for her to fight back. The scream the neighbors heard wasn't fear. It was defiance. 2 arrested, 1 still missing. Reeves stood by the lake days later. The lamp flickered once more, faint, steady. Like Jessica was saying, you found it. Subscribe to the Veil of Secret, where every truth hides a heartbeat.